Calgary are 5.5-point favorites at home against the sensation Dustin Crum and the Redblacks. These two teams met at TD Place in week 2, a game the Stampeders won 26-15, but way back then Crum wasn't the starter. Both teams are coming off key wins and aiming to get back to 500 with matching 2 and 3 records. Hodge, can Ottawa get an upset for a second week in the row? Ay caramba!
I don't think so. I think that the Ottawa Redblacks have a lot to be excited about with Dustin Crum. That being said, I don't think that the Redblacks played well at all outside. Granted, Nick Arbuckle wasn't brilliant as the starter when these two teams met earlier this season. If you're not going to win this game at TD Place, I don't think you're going to win it at McMahon. Granted, the Stampeders are 0-2 at their home facility this season, but here with Jake Maier taking that next step and finally showing why this team was comfortable from moving on from Bo Levi Mitchell this past offseason, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Stampeders. I'm happy to take this line up to a touchdown. Beyond that, I would be tempted to roll with Dustin Crum and the hashtag Crumback that was last week's victory over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But up to that 7-point margin, I'm happy to take the Stampeders and eat the points. Boys, I'm hungry this week. I'm eating all the points.
I'm out here on the West Coast. The ocean is just outside my door, so I'm getting on my boat and I'm becoming a pirate because I want yo-ho-ho and a bottle of Crum. I am buying into the rugged quarterback. I loved what I saw in the second half last week. I love his athleticism. I've never been a big believer in the Stampeders this year. They look improved, but I think there's something there with this quarterback in the Ottawa Redblacks. They keep rolling, and I think they pull the upset this week.
Let's go with the Crum, baby. I think he keeps it rolling. There's a renewed energy around this team. And even though I said earlier that there was a pressure relief there after that upset win over Winnipeg, I think there's some renewed faith in what Bob Dice and this team has going because the defense has played really well. They just need a quarterback that stopped turning over the football. Now, Crum did throw an interception in that game, but he did come back and obviously rush for those 2 critical touchdowns, especially that dynamic run in overtime. So I think the value here is on the Redblacks. You're getting over a field goal on the road, and Jake Maier has been meh for me this season. That core the Stampeders have of receivers doesn't necessarily overly scare me, especially with Malik Henry out with injury. I still think there needs to be time there for Jake Maier and Mark and Michelle to develop a rapport. And Lorenzo Malden should be back in the lineup after the birth of his daughter, I believe it was. So I like the Redblacks plus the points.